with me this evening is Jason, my cousin. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How you doing, dude?
Doing good, doing good. Yeah, thanks for being on the show.
Of course.
So, yeah, we're pretty much here this evening to talk about one game in particular, but among others that we've obviously gamed with. Before we get into that, yeah, I just want to kind of tell people obviously how we know each other and when we started to hang out a bunch and that kind of thing. But you're obviously my cousin from Denver. Is it Denver, right? Or is there some other?
Close enough.
Close enough. My brother and I used to love going up there to see you guys. And me and you were kind of the super gamers of the clique.
Kind of the black sheep.
Yeah, we were definitely the black sheep. But yeah, man, those memories definitely stuck with me. So here we are talking about them 30 years later.
Fond memories.
Fun, dramatic.
So many laughs.
Stressful at times. But
Can't be.
No, they were fond memories. But I think the game we played the most when we were, I don't know, 97. So I was 12, you were 14?
Yeah, about 14.
We played a tremendous amount of GoldenEye.
Like a lot.
Yeah, we played a lot of GoldenEye. What else did we play? Madden. I know we played Madden a lot at one point.
Madden, Rush. Was it Rush?
We talked about maybe adding on a Rush, which we might at some other episode, but that was a ridiculous racing game. That was a good one. Star Fox, right?
Star Fox 64.
Among others, yeah. But definitely, I think GoldenEye is probably the top, right? Out of any game we played together.
I think that was probably the most gaming we did together was GoldenEye. I mean, it was pivotal at the moment. There was no other multiplayer like GoldenEye at that time, you know?
Multiplayer games were hard to find in the 90s. Like, they were out there, but you had to really fish for them. You know, the ones that did exist were great. GoldenEye, I think, was one of the ones that really made leaps and bounds in terms of multiplayer.
Totally.
So, but yeah, the game wasn't designed to be that way at all initially. It was designed to be one of those rail shooters. You know what that is?
I'm not sure.
So, you know, the arcade games, you see like arcades like Terminator, where you're on like a set track. You don't move, like the camera moves for you and you just shoot at things.
Yeah.
That's what a rail shooter is. And that's how it was designed. So can you imagine GoldenEye being that instead of what it was? It would have been terrible.
I mean, I can't, but at the same time, it's like GoldenEye was like the multiplayer was almost a addendum, an extra to the game. You know, like the campaign was the campaign, and like, yeah, we'll give you some multiplayer, you know? But the multiplayer ended up being one of the most funnest aspects of that game.
Definitely was. And I don't think the multiplayer was meant to exist when they started developing the game. But yeah, the game, so the movie obviously it's based on the movie GoldenEye with Pierce Brosnan, James Bond movie. The movie budget was $60 million. Obviously a lot of money.
I mean, that seems cheap right now.
No, it definitely, yeah. It definitely does.
For movies.
Nothing. For Avengers is like 400 million.
200 million.
Easily,
Yeah,
something
something
ridiculous.
like
But so 60 million and they grossed 356 million. The game budget was only 2 million, which is the equivalent of 3.3% of the movie's budget, which is nothing. But the game grossed 250 million. So they were shy 100 million of the movie budget, or gross, excuse me, but they used 3.5% of the movie's budget, which is amazing. So they really squeezed out money through this game. 2 million into 250 million. It's pretty impressive.
I mean, names go a long way, you know?
Yeah, they do. Definitely speaks for how good the game was. I think we were definitely two of the addicts that played this game hundreds, if not thousands of hours.
A lot.
Yeah.
I mean,
so
the man with the golden gun.
Oh, yeah. I was going to see if you recognize this sound, by the way.
The club.
Yeah.
Man, you can't beat the club.
Maybe you'd recognize the club.
Hell
Yeah, that was an amazing gun. I mean, no, it's actually terrible. It was like the worst gun of the game.
It was one of the worst, but it was one of the most memorable.
It was the most memorable. So that game, or that gun, was named after one of the programmers for
Was
the
his
game.
name Club?
His name was Ken Lobb. So they called it Klob.
Oh, shit. Okay.
And it was named after the Scorpion gun. That's what it's called in real life, the Scorpion. I think it's a Russian gun or something like that. So that's who it was named after, some guy named Ken Lobb, who was working. Yeah. He was working for Rare Limited, which is the company that made this game. But they were also financed through Nintendo, which is why it's an N64 game. But, which obviously let me back up a little bit. So Rare Limited, they were the main developers behind Donkey Kong Country, as we played that a lot on
Great game.
Yeah. Banjo-Kazooie.
Yep.
And obviously Battletoads, which was another one. You play Battletoads?
I did play
Yeah.
Battletoads.
That was
Rash was my favorite. Rash the Battletoad.
yeah. So maybe we'll hit on that game at some point. But yeah, they made some pretty iconic games when they were under Nintendo. Sadly, they kind of were merged into Microsoft a little bit later. I think it was 2002, and they kind of just fell off a cliff, in my opinion.
I mean, maybe we just got bought out and they were like, we're good.
Yeah, I think they just watered down the developers under Rare when they went into Microsoft, and they kind of just didn't make anything great after that. The top 3 Nintendo games of all time. GoldenEye was number 3. And do you have any idea what the top 2 might be? Top selling Nintendo N64 games of all time.
Mario 64 has to be on the list.
And that's the top. Yeah.
That was the top. Like,
kind of a given. Yeah.
well, I remember seeing that at Blockbuster Video, and like it's like you could like play it for a little bit, you know?
And like there'd be a line of kids trying to play the shit.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, Mario is 3D? I'm like, no fucking way. Sorry. I'm like, this is peak Mario gaming.
Yeah.
Mario 64. It was great. Like,
Yeah.
you couldn't beat it at the time.
Just for some reason for me, certain games I have a tremendous amount of memory on, even though they might have come out earlier before other games that I also played the same amount, which Mario 64, I definitely played. I beat it several times, but I don't remember that much about it. But for GoldenEye, I remember like everything about it, all the different levels, all the different multiplayer modes and the characters and the music and all that. Just,
well, and at the time it seemed so realistic. Like, like graphics were above their time in a way. But at that time, it was like, man, these guys look like real guys.
Yeah.
You know?
And the women on there, I remember I was like, God, they're so beautiful with their triangle faces that are
and triangle
two-dimensional
and stuff.
Yeah.
They seemed pretty detailed.
Yeah. I was,
you know? And it's like, wow, I'm in the movie right now, you know?
And they did have shots from like Russia and whatnot that were in the movie or in the game, replicated certain sets onto the game directly because they used inspiration from the studios and Hollywood studios and all that, and MGM studios. But yeah, I just watched the videos today of GoldenEye. I was like, God, it looks pretty rough now.
It's pretty rough, but you know.
When was the last time you played GoldenEye, by the way? Since we played, like, I mean,
probably like the last time I played GoldenEye was the last time I played GoldenEye.
So, yeah, like it's 25 years ago.
20 years, yeah, at least.
So,
and it's sad because I would like to play GoldenEye again, but that was the thing too, is like, it was like, we were like playing together. Like there was something to do together, you know? And like, I don't have anybody to play with together on GoldenEye. So it's like, I think I just want to leave it. And like, that was my GoldenEye time. Yeah. And like, so
just cherish it and leave it.
Yeah, exactly.
And not try to reproduce. Yeah.
Don't try to reproduce it. Yeah.
It's a good way to put it. So I actually tried to play it maybe like 2 or 3 years ago. I don't know what the setting was, but someone had it on their N64 and I was terrible at it because the joysticks are so crude versus what we have now. Especially if you PC game with a mouse. It's so
is this calibrated, you know?
Yeah, I couldn't like shoot anybody. I think I was like the best player at the time that I played. Like all the people I played with, including you, I think I usually was the best in terms of multiplayer kills.
I would agree with that.
But now I cannot shoot worth shit in that game because joystick shooting is just... And there was no aim assist. Like, that was not a thing back then. So if you couldn't shoot, you couldn't shoot. That's just how it was.
It's like aim in the general direction of this person. Yeah. You might hit him.
And I think when we first started playing, it was at your house, right, in Denver?
Yeah.
You didn't start. Did we start at my house or no? I don't remember.
No, I think you guys came out for Christmas.
Okay.
And we were playing upstairs in my room.
Yeah, and we played on the dinky... It was a 13-inch TV. I remember it. It was literally the size of this laptop screen.
I mean, you say dinky, but... You know, I mean, it worked for me, right?
But we played 4-player, multiplayer. 13 inches split in 4 ways was literally...
it was a pain in the ass.
It was the size of my palm, if that. Trying to look down, trying to aim at people and snipe them.
Well, you're basically at that point just watching their screen to shoot.
Because he could, it was right.
You know, like that was easier than watching your own screen.
That is true. But that's something I don't think I'll ever forget. Playing on that crappy little 13-inch CRT TV in the 90s, 4-player. And
roughing it.
But yeah, roughing it. But yeah, we played a lot of multiplayer on that game. And I think another thing that sticks out for me, like we always messed around with multiplayer, but playing with the proximity mines, those were so fun.
Yeah.
And I remember making like a pancake stack of these mines that would just for people listening. So these are explosive mines that would blow up if an enemy approached the mines. And you could stack them on top of each other. And so we would create like 30 of these proxy mines stacked on top of each other. So it's just like a giant pillar of explosives sticking out of a wall. And I remember just like the ridiculous explosions that would happen when you walked by or someone else walked by. I would show people through the wall. And it was just something that it was amazing.
It was too much, you know?
It was obviously, you could probably kill 5,000 people with the mines put in one room. But, you know, it was a satisfying kill. I don't think I'll ever experience something like that in my lifetime with gaming.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sure I've experienced other things close to it, but not the same itch was scratched, I would say, with playing GoldenEye. And I think that's what this podcast is really about, finding the games that scratched a very unique itch that we had as maybe gamers back then.
Right.
Because, yeah, you brought up even playing Star Wars and, you know, the first one, what was it called? Star Wars Episode 1? Is that just what it was? Oh, Phantom Menace.
Yeah. Remember when gateway computers was a thing? Like
they were expensive. They were
expensive. Yeah. But, like, you had, like, a gateway computer and, like, that was, like, a launch title was Phantom Menace, was with
That's
rat.
Yeah.
You know?
SimCity was there as well, a few other ones.
And I just remember seeing you playing that, and I was like, oh, my God, like, he has a lightsaber. I'm like, I don't care what I have to do. I just want to play with a lightsaber.
And it's also three-dimensional.
Yeah, you know?
I remember being so addicted to this game, playing at your house. And there's this other memory that I'll never forget because I felt like a real scumbag. So your neighbor, Gordon?
Yeah.
Is he still around, by the way?
Yeah, he's still kicking.
Oh, okay, good. So they have this neighbor, his name's Gordon. He's a cool guy. He had this really fancy cabin up in, what was that place?
Right. Cachara, Colorado.
Cachar? What's it called?
Cachara.
Cachar.
Which basically is spoon in Spanish.
Spoon in Spanish. Interesting. Okay.
And
So he had this fancy cabin that he would invite us all out to go like snowmobiling and just hang out and yada yada. And I remember he came up to the bedroom as I was playing games on your TV. And I think it was just me in there. I don't know if you're in the bathroom or something. He's like, hey, ready to go to the cabin? And of course, like, he's like excited to like bring us there. And like, he had a smile on his face. I'm like, yeah. And I was like, no, I'd rather just stay here playing games. And I remember seeing his smile just like turn upside down.
Like melt off his face.
He was so in shock I said that. And I remember feeling so bad. I was like, I shouldn't have said that to him. But I was a 12-year-old, so I didn't really care at the time. But yeah, it's how good this game was, you know?
Well, I mean, it's like your cabin doesn't have internet.
Doesn't have electronics. You know?
Right.
At least electronics I can play on.
Well, and that's like the shift of, you know, like childhood and stuff. It's like, this is what we're into now. Like, we're not going to the mountains to walk around, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, this is what we're into, you know? It's just ebbs and flows of the way things work.
What's, are there any other games that were like, that really stick out to you, like in the 90s playing at your house that you can think of immediately off the top of your head?
We had so many laughs about, like, was it Rush?
Yeah.
With cars?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, just like thinking about us running into each other in cars and just laughing our asses off and like just having a good time.
That was the game for listeners that was racing, but it had like one of the first good crash dynamics, and you could like blow up your competitors and they would be dead permanently.
Right.
Like you didn't come back. So you could try and sabotage other racers by running them into a concrete wall or oncoming traffic. And the collisions weren't great. Like they were funny. I remember them being like, they were really goofy. And we would just laugh and laugh.
Yeah.
And
just the way they would crash. We were just like,
it was so
that was so funny.
It was good. Especially the Mobster was the car that everyone used because it was like a tank.
Right.
And it had a lot of drive and power. You crush people. It was just, that was definitely a game. And yeah, Star Fox. But I think this is it, man. GoldenEye is probably the pinnacle of our gaming when we were together playing.
Yeah. I mean, you say Star Fox, and yeah, I'm with that. Star Fox was great. Like, I'll never forget when the ship would come in and deploy the Landmaster. Yeah, like the tank would drop out of it, you know? I'm like, and then you jump in the Landmaster, and it's like, this is great. I was just in a ship.
You need to watch some videos on that game because it's another game I haven't played in since we were kids. And like I'll have like flashbacks as I watch. I'm like, oh, you know.
Yeah, like,
it's like, yeah.
Oh my God, I'm in the Landmaster.
So yeah, anyway, so back to GoldenEye. Another interesting fact I learned about this game, which they had developed a lot of avatars of other Bond actors
Okay.
that you could play as. But yeah, you could play as Sean Connery, and a few other ones prior to Pierce Brosnan, obviously, because this is when it came out.
So is Sean Connery more pixelated because he's older?
Well, he actually denied permission to use his face and his voice or whatever. So they ended up only using Pierce Brosnan's little pixelated face, unfortunately. I think it would have been pretty epic to play Sean Connery running around like...
That would have been pretty good.
But he's a weird dude. I remember he said something about how you should slap your wife on an interview. He's very old-fashioned.
Yeah.
He's like, I think you should slap your wife if she's out of control. Anyone listening, there is an interview where he says something like that about roughing up your wife or your significant other, which was a little creepy. So it doesn't surprise me he denied permission for a video game.
He was omitted.
Yeah, he was omitted. But the game was amazing without Sean Connery. So I remember playing a lot of Odd Job as the multiplayer, having he was good. And then we used that cheat code, not cheat, but like a mod. This is probably when mods first came out, like modifications to the games, but you can make everyone's head massive. On
Big head mode.
Big head mode, yeah. Run around as the short Asian guy, Odd Job, with a
gigantic head.
He was like a hot air balloon running around, and you could just headshot him so easily.
Yeah, especially if you have the golden gun.
Yeah.
It was a game that was like ahead of its time in a way, because like you could not get another multiplayer online experience with any other game, just with GoldenEye.
Yeah.
But you also had to be in the same room as the other person.
Yeah, well, I think that was part of why you felt a lot of camaraderie with playing that multiplayer game, because you're with the people. It's more of a sense of community. And I wish PC games had that more. Like, obviously, you can do like, a local internet connection party, but people don't typically do that.
I remember back when like Halo came out.
Yeah.
Like I would go to my friend's house and it would be a LAN party, you had to plug in, because for some reason one of my friends had Ethernet cables like hijacked into his rooms, and it's like we'd all pick a room, plug our console in. Now we're playing online even though we're in the same freaking house.
That's right.
And it would be like the round would be over and we'd go upstairs and be like, wow, that was a great like there's a different level of camaraderie.
Yeah.
Is that the word?
Camaraderie? Yeah, sounds right. I think so.
I mean, it's like now you can just like sign on and get to a lobby, play with these guys, screw those guys, I'm out,
I think that's one thing that video games are missing out on nowadays, is the sense of intimacy with other players. Everything is very disconnected. You don't really make as many friends, or you don't develop relationships with people through gaming. Or at least it's harder,
It's way harder.
And I think we have everything we need, man. I'm glad you came on the show.
Yeah, glad to be here, man.
We'll have you on another
time with you.
Yeah, we'll have you on another episode talking about something else.
For sure.
And thanks for coming down to Florida. How was the fishing?
It was great. Like I caught the biggest fish on the boat. As long as I beat my brother, I'm good. It's like I can shut him up, I'm good.
Yeah. Whoever has the biggest fish wins at the end of the day.
I mean, that's what I was told.
That's how we operate in Florida. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, man. Well, see you soon.
Yep, you got it, man. I'll be there.
All right. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good one.
You too, man. Take care.